What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, and we actually got kind of a release window just randomly. I don't know who would have predicted something like this. It really only happens when actors go rogue. It's one of my favorite things that does happen, right? When an actor just gives an interview and says a little too much, right? Maybe comes from a different world, different environment, and they spill the beans on something that wasn't supposed to be spilled. So this is Kari Payton, who obviously plays a pretty pivotal role in this game, and he was being interviewed, I believe, from the direct, and he simply said, "We're still working, we're planning on 2025, we're thinking like a Christmas situation, but I'm so excited." And there's absolutely no chance that he was actually supposed to say something like that. Now, a couple things to say, and really the only things to say, right? Number one, it wouldn't actually be for Christmas. I think that actually probably does come from the world of him being into so many movies and so much television versus kind of gaming. As we well know, at least if you pay attention to things, games kind of stop around mid-December. Really, they stop kind of right after the Game Awards. You're lucky if you get a game that's December 12, 13, 14, 15. Normally, that first week in December is it. December 1st through like the 8th. And we've had a good variety. I mean, Super Smash Bros. Has done that in the past. Indiana Jones did it last year. I mean, there are several games that do it. There's probably like one or two that do it every single year. You get kind of like that late straggler that comes out after Black Friday, right? So to me, when I hear that he says a Christmas situation, I'm thinking end of the year. I'm thinking late November, early December. And that's pretty much actually all you can say. No way he was supposed to say something like that. With that kind of planning and that kind of situation, it would probably be the last game or one of the last couple games that come out this year. Then you start to think, all right, I know there might be a little worry about like GTA. I mean, look, games have to release, right? You got to have games that come out. And if this game was planning on coming out in December, GTA shouldn't scare it away too much. I go to immediately, okay, well, now we know when it's supposed to come out. By the way, actually, let me save what I was just about to say one more thing. There is one thing that maybe worries me about that position, because that's also historically kind of a spot that you would put a game if it's going to be moved. There is maybe no game that is quite as unsafe as a game that comes out at the very end of the year, because how easy is it for them to simply say, okay, we're going to move that game from December 2nd to January 25th, right? You're moving it a month and a half. You get that winter break. You get to kind of reset and then come back and launch your game. So, putting it there definitely, I think, would have a little bit of stuff in the back of my head where it's like, okay, it's also probably put there because they might delay it and it might be an early 2026 game. But okay, then you start to think, well, when are we going to see it? I think it's gotta be this summer. I mean, I've said this actually to a friend of mine. I think Summer Game Fest. I think if I were to pick a game that would be like the staple, the big game to show over the entirety of the summer, really, like what game really needs to kind of come out and almost prove itself, I think it's that game. Because this game can be gigantic, it can be huge, it's got the background, it's got the people working on, of course, Amy Hennig, right? But what we've seen now is really more of a tech demo than anything else. And the longer it goes, the more worried I do get on that. Like, this game cannot be a tech demo. Now, I've always hoped that it's a tech demo plus being like an Uncharted type game, which would make it one of the greatest games ever conceived. But we don't know that. We do not know that for sure. So that's really why I think this summer is going to be so important. Regardless if the game comes out in December versus like next January, by this summer, you're 6 months away, right? So you got to show it, whether it's Summer Game Fest, whether it's Gamescom, whether it's at the Xbox event, PlayStation event, whatever, you got to show this game. So at least we kind of know, right? Because this game could have been a fall game, could have been delayed indefinitely. In fact, a few days ago, I was thinking about making a video again to kind of talking about what's going on with this game. Figured we had just done that, so I would hold off, and luckily I did hold off, right? It's not a game it feels that's a 2027, 2028 type game. By the way, they're working on a Star Wars game as well, that same studio, so maybe we hear about that one day. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.